So the next method of sampling we're going to talk about is stratified random sampling. And as the name implies, stratified means we're going to stratify the population into different groups. And our idea here is that we want to increase representativeness of our sample. And maybe this is best examined with an example. So let's start with a population that has 40 women in it and 60 men. And we're interested in measuring their cholesterol level. So we take a random sample, a simple random sample where we just kind of, from this group of 100, we randomly pick 10 people. Now it is totally conceivable that we would pick a sample that included, let's say, 6 women and 4 men, right? It's possible. Let's pick another sample of 10, and it's, again, very possible that we would have one with 3 women and 7 men. Heck, it's even possible to get 9 women and 1 man. Now I would ask you, are these samples random? Yes, they were randomly chosen. But are they representative? This one, no, because representative, we'd have more men than women, which we don't have here. Here we do have more men than women, right? And it's closer, right? 7-3 instead of the 6-4 ratio. And this one is very lopsided, but it's certainly possible. But it is not representative. So one way that we could better achieve a representative sample is by first stratifying the groups, stratifying the population. And so you want to pick something that is going to be a factor that we're looking at, as well as something that's mutually exclusive. So in this case, an obvious choice would be, why don't we put them into 2 groups? One is groups of men and one is groups of women. So these groups are called strata. I guess the singular version might be stratum, but you get the point. So we've divided them into 2 mutually exclusive groups here. Now these groups here are homogeneous, so you have very little variability within these groups, but between the groups you do have a lot of variability, right? They're completely different, woman versus man. Now what we do is we would pick random samples from within these groups, and we could set how many we want. So what we could say is, we're going to pick from our group of 40 women, we will pick 4 out of that group, and out of the group of 60 men, we're going to pick 6 at random. So these would be simple random samples from within the strata. So in our first sample, we are always going to have 4 women, and we're going to have 6 guys. In our next sample, the same thing, 4 women, but there'll probably be a different 4 women and 6 guys, and then probably different 6 guys. Here, 4 women and 6 guys. So what we have here is we're going to maintain this representativeness. Look, it's always this 6-4 or 4-6 ratio, but who gets selected is different. So these, the guys that are, it'll be a different 6 guys each time, and it'll be a different 4 women each time, but you're always going to maintain this ratio here. So let's look back at the bigger picture here. And when we just did simple random sampling, we could have gotten all kinds of different samples that had different ratios, and it wasn't necessarily representative of this population of 40 women and 60 men. But if we first separated them into strata, 60 men, 40 women, and then we did a simple random sample from each of the strata, then we always got the right numbers. But these are randomly selected still. So we do have a random sample. And we could actually break it down further than just men and women or 2 strata. We could break it down. Say we're looking at smoking as well, so we wanted to have 4 strata. So here we took that same population and broke them down into women who don't smoke, women who do smoke, men who don't smoke, and men who do smoke. Then we just decide, well, from those 33, we'll take 3 at random of those who don't smoke, and 1 from the women who do smoke. Let's take 4 from this group and 2 from this group to form our, to take a simple random sample from each one of the strata. So each one of these yields its own sample, and we combine them all at the end to make one sample. And that's our stratified random sample.